Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're entering the world of social skills, and I'm going to be talking about why first impressions are overrated. There was this recent memory that I have where my brother came from Philadelphia to Florida, and whenever he comes, we have this little reunion of sorts. And on one of the days that we had this reunion, we were at one of my buddies' house. He's big ballin' now, so he has this nice house. And all the girls are chilling upstairs while all the guys are chilling downstairs. And whenever guys are having a heart-to-heart, they don't really look each other at the eyes. They look off into space, okay? So myself and I would say 3 guys to my left and 2 guys to my right, we're all looking at this ocean, or you could even say pond, all right? We're looking at this pond and we're just talking, all right? We're talking about very deep topics. And as we're talking about these deep topics, I looked to my left real quick and I looked to my right real quick. And I think, with the exception of my brother, who I've known my entire life, the other dudes were cool right now, but I disliked all of them when I first met them. This one next to me, the first time I met this guy, he barely said a word to me. This other guy to the right of me, when I met them, they just kept talking nonstop. This other guy, he is a Celtics fan. Who likes Celtics? Automatically, my first impression of him was very poor. And here we are, over a decade later, just having this heart-to-heart with one another. And I started to realize that this whole concept of first impressions is very overrated. When you hear a lot of individuals talk about first impressions, they talk about it in a very high standard. They say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And when we have that idea in mind, it may cause us to be somewhat fake for our first ever impression. Now, let me give this idea some credence, where you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Is that true? Yes, this is factually true. And I would say, for the most part, first impressions are very important. If you don't plan to see the person again. Okay? So if you are thinking, okay, I'm never going to see this person again, then first impressions are very important. Or it's very important in these initial transactional moments where you have this first impression to prove to this potential vendor that you are the person to work with. But what I have noticed is that when you take a long-term perspective of something, first impressions just become this little blip. And if you're someone that weighs a lot on first impressions, it may cause you to make a lot of poor assessments in regards to someone. Let's say this other person that you are speaking to for the first time is filled with the idea you never get a second chance to make a first impression. By the time they meet you, and let's say you're someone that they're trying to impress, they're terrified, okay? Not only because they're trying to impress you, but also because they're trying to make a great first impression. They talk to you, but they talk to you in a very nervous sort of way. You don't think it's a nervous energy though. You think this person is just standoffish. And from this very first impression, you're assigning it too much importance, and you're like, you know what? I never want to see this person again. But if you did see this person again, maybe by interaction number 2 to 4, they start to loosen up and you get to see who they really are. If I judge the people that I was sitting with that day, and I judge the people to the left of me and to the right of me by the first impression, I promise you, I wouldn't be sitting next to them 10 years from now. You see? So I would say that first impressions are important. And I get it. Other folks do weigh it high. So when you're trying to make a first impression, obviously don't be uncouth and a slob. But I believe with this understanding of first impressions being somewhat overrated in the bigger picture, I believe we can give others the benefit of the doubt in a beautiful, elegant way. Rather than just judging them by every mistake when we see them for the first time, we think, let's see how this plays out. Okay, this person is not the best yet, unless they're doing something straight up weird, where it's a fundamental difference in beliefs. If it's not like that, I believe that giving people a couple of chances until you get to see their real side pays dividends. And who knows, maybe 10 years from now, you guys have a funny story. You won't believe what I thought about you the first time I saw you. Other person asks, what'd you think of me? I thought you were a jerk. Me? Why did you think I was a jerk for? Because you have a very mean face. Me? I don't have a mean face. So now it becomes a humorous story for the future. I don't think first impressions, the importance of it is going to ever go away, but I think this is a different take on first impressions. Think about the bigger picture and you'll see that a lot of the first time you see someone is simply a blip in their entire personality. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time.